Okay, folks, like the tortoise taught us, slow and steady wins the race. I am slowly but surely creeping my way back into this race. I'm still getting my ass handed to me, but I made up some ground in week 10. So let's get it. AG, we have our early picks contest. I'm 6-8. I'm still down 1.21 units, but like I said, I gained some ground yesterday. Now that we're doing money lines, I can make up some ground a little bit quicker. And AG, he hit yesterday too. We both went 2-1. So you're at 8-4 plus 3.79 units. AG, lead us off and give us your picks for this week.
Yeah, man. I was hoping that I lost a couple of mine so you could catch up with a little bit of ground because
Full of
I
shit. You
did
weren't hoping for that shit. You
I
lied
did
sack.
no, but I liked your Packers play and I ran
Yeah.
with your Packers play also with my I put my own money behind it, so I was hoping they won.
Yeah.
If I would have lost one or two of those extra, if I would have went 0-3 or something, you definitely would have made a little comeback here. But regardless, you have two extra picked games than me, so
Mhm.
assuming I got those two
Both
picks
losses.
wrong, if I caught up, then this would be looking a lot closer. You've made more calls than me. We're gonna make up for that today because I have three and you have two. So let's
Mhm.
get into it. I'm taking the Jets plus 3.5 in New England over under 38.5, but I'm riding with the Jets plus 3.5. I am sorry, New York Jets fans.
OVER over. It's over, Jets fans. AG just jinxed you. He's hated y'all all season long, and y'all have won in spite of him. Now here he comes, jumping on the bandwagon, and he's about to crash it and run it off a cliff. It's over. OVER over. Good luck.
No, don't listen to this guy, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Look at the record, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about, Jets fans.
All I,
Jets, Jets,
all I
Jets,
know is
Jets.
I picked
Listen,
the Jets against the Bills last week, and they won. And AG was like they're the biggest fraud in football, and they won in spite of him.
all right,
So
listen. They
it's
have
AG just
I
ruined it for y'all. I'm
I
sorry.
have to take back my negative comments about this
That's
Jets
it.
team.
That's the kiss of death right there. I'm
They're
telling you.
what I should have said. I should have had different wording the entire time, but now I see the light and I see where I went wrong. I
Mm.
should have been saying that this Jets offense is the most fraudulent 5-2 offense I've ever seen.
No, no,
The
no, no,
defense
no,
is
no, no.
legit, man.
You can't. No, you can't take that
I'm
back and
saying
talk
no,
about
no.
all the
I
quarterbacks that they played against and all this other stuff, and you can't do that, and
Well,
then
they
come
played
around.
against Josh Allen last week and they showed me something, damn it.
Okay, all right.
They showed me
Because
something.
you were talking shit about Minnesota's defense against quarterbacks too, and they did it. They did it. Maybe Josh Allen's overrated. No, I'm just
Well, they
joking.
won
But
that game, but Josh Allen had a
yeah,
day. I
yeah.
mean, he
No, he
was
had a
throwing
day, but
around.
he
Stephon Diggs had a
threw
day.
a couple of big picks though in
No,
the
for
end
sure,
zone.
for sure.
Two of them.
But he got the rock to his guys.
Mm-hmm.
He it looked more like Josh Allen, except
Yeah.
for those. Well, even with those couple mistakes, I mean, that's one thing. He's a gunslinger, man. He throws picks. He leads the league in picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was like close to the top last year. I think only Stafford is like his only competition really when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
throwing interceptions. He makes up for it by throwing a fuck ton of touchdowns and running into touchdowns and running through DNs and whatnot. So he makes up for that. But look, I'm pretty much betting on the Jets defense destroying this Patriots offense and just being able
Mm.
to stop them. But yeah, I mean, it's early picks. Like me and Chad always do on this show, is we're not putting a ton of analysis. Well, we're putting analysis behind it, but we're not putting like matchups and numbers behind it. Like we're not
Mm-hmm.
looking into matchup discrepancies and things like that. This is the
Right.
early picks. Like, oh, I see a line that I think I need to get on.
Right.
I know that they're underdogs by 3.5 only because they're playing in New England. And if this was in New York, they're probably the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking their defense to slow down the Patriots offense and maybe Zach Wilson put up a couple points too. So hopefully that'll
There
help
you
me
go.
out. But we have 3.5 points. They're giving us 3.5. So even if they lose by a field goal, I still cash this. So I'm gonna run with that. My next one, the Bengals minus 4.5 going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers over under 40.5. I'm taking the over in this one. Slam it, in my opinion.
Little revenge from that week one loss where Cincinnati embarrassed themselves. So yeah.
Well, think about it. I mean, they embarrassed themselves, and there were still 23 points. They
Mm-hmm.
hit right on the hook without overtime at 40 points, 20 to
Mm-hmm.
go into overtime.
Yeah.
So I think that the Bengals offense plays a lot better in this one.
Yeah.
Their
No.
defense is a little more beat up than they were in what was that, week 2 or week 1, I think actually.
Yeah.
So I give them a chance to allow more points, and then the Steelers, they're a little bit of a new offense also with Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They might be able to put up a little bit more points on this Bengals defense. I don't know if they get 20 this time around like last time, but I think the Bengals get at least 27 or something like that, and we're able to cash this over 40.5. So that's what I'm riding with as my second pick.
I like it.
And then my other one, Bears +3 at Falcons, over under 49.5. I've been saying it for like 2-3 weeks now. I love what the Bears are doing. I love what Justin Fields is doing. He looks like a more under control, more fundamentally sound Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Or like and just bigger in the pocket, and just like he looks like they're building a star there in Chicago. It really, and I wasn't like a Justin Fields hater, but I was like, assessing his game for the past 2 years, and up until a couple weeks ago, I was like, this kid's not that good, not that great, not making fantastic reads, but the system that they've been putting him in the past couple weeks, it's working for them. And the Falcons, I mean, they just came off a loss to the Panthers. The Bears are running all over everybody. The Falcons have a good run defense, but I think that this is the day it ends. I'm going to take the Bears +140 money line. I'm trying to take a little extra lead on Chad here in this one. So I got the Bears +140 on the money line. Those are my 3 picks.
I don't know, man. Playing in Atlanta, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so now let's move on to my.
I'm
picks.
taking a risk here. I want to give you a little bit of a chance. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, I'm taking I'm taking this game here. I like the Vikings plus the 1.5. Playing at home. Granted, it's a I think. Wait, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Is that the primetime one, or that's a regular day game? I think. I don't think it's a primetime game. No, that one's an afternoon game on CBS. So, but that's still, it's going to be a national audience and everything. Not quite Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday Night Football. Those primetime games where it's the only game in town. But did we not see what the Vikings just did to Buffalo and Josh Allen, and what the Cowboys just did with Green Bay? Now I am a little concerned that the way that they played, looks like AG bugged out on me there for a minute. He got nervous about this pick. No, so I am a little concerned, but this is us just calling it like we see it early in the week. I'm a little concerned that Dallas is going to get, have a little get right, and that Minnesota might be flying high after their win, and that this could flip around on me. But it's hard to pass up laying a 1.5 on the road against a team that's one of the best teams in football right now. I don't know, man. Give me the Vikings plus 1.5 at home in this matchup, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then moving along to
let me get in on that real quick, because I like the pick. Like I hear you. I agree with you on everything you said, everything that you heard, or everything that I heard you say, at least, because I missed half of that. But I do like the Vikings here. They're obviously one of the better teams in football right now. The Cowboys just dropped a game to the Packers. The Vikings just beat the Bills with Josh Allen playing. They finally got what they wanted. They wanted Josh Allen to play because they were getting no respect because they've been beating up all these chump teams. They wanted Josh Allen in there. He was in there. He was balling, doing good. He wasn't even sliding. Even with his elbow injury, he's still running into linebackers and whatnot. He doesn't care. So he was balling like he was 100%. And they went out there in a hard-fought victory in overtime. I mean, it's kind of like they're begging you to take the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, they are. And I like the Justin Jefferson, Trevon Diggs rematch of their days back at LSU and Alabama. That's kind of an interesting one there, and we'll see if they can take advantage of how aggressive Diggs can be sometimes at trying to jump routes and that sort of stuff. He's going to have his work cut out for him, because Jefferson can blow right by you too.
Yep. I don't know. I just feel
it's
like
just hard to pass up the 1.5.
I do agree. I
feel like I'd be talking myself into something to look at this line and be like, because I remember they were talking about this on game day on Saturday, that Lee Corso told Kirk Herbstreit that somebody must know something because Texas was favored at home by 7 points, and somebody must know something. So I'm going to go with the people who apparently know something. I'm like, no, I'm going to go with TCU and the +7 on the road
I took the
being the
money
better
line.
team, and I took the money line too, and we cashed on that. So I'm looking to do the same here. I'm not going to go money line here. I'm just going to go straight up with the plus 1.5 at minus 110 because this could be one of those, win it late with a field goal and only win by one, and I don't want to cost myself a game like that where if Dallas does actually pull this off, but they only win by
Yeah.
one, I still take the L, even though I
And
was
and
directionally correct.
this is a good example of like why we do this show. Like obviously we're competitive, we're having fun, we're doing some game analysis early in the week. Like that's the point of this show. But the
Mm-hmm.
other point is we do catch some lines like this where it's like this one's weird. Why are the
Yeah.
Cowboys favored by 2 on
Mm-hmm.
the road in Minnesota? The Vikings are the hottest team in the NFL besides maybe the Eagles, and the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys just lost to the Packers, who ending on the best out of any team in the league. Um, this is one of those where it might flip by the end of the week. Later in the week, the Vikings might be favored by 1.5. And now, if you
Exactly.
want the Vikings side, you need them to win by 2, win by 3 if it gets up to a certain point. This is one of those where if you like what Chad's saying, if you like the Vikings here, take it now before that possibly flips. And if you like the Cowboys, wait on it a little bit because there's the potential that this flips. I'm not saying that I know for sure it's gonna, but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those lines where it's like a little funky and it's like, this might get bought in different directions throughout the week. It might be
Right.
one of those that flips back and forth. So, it's one of those, if you're on the Vikings, take them now. Maybe even you can even tease them a little bit and take them at like
Mm-hmm.
plus 2.5, plus
Look,
3.5 at better value than you will get later in the week, possibly. So
I'm not going to do it on this show as part of my official picks, but with my money, I am definitely going to go and I'm going to find like Minnesota minus 6.5 or
right.
something like that, and I'm gonna hit that for like plus 200 odds or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's locked right now. We're not that isn't available to us, but as soon as that stuff starts to become available, I'm looking for a way to tease this thing up. Minnesota playing at home and try to get some more cash out of this because I think that if they do win this game, I think they win it with by a decent margin, or at least they could. And I want to try to give myself that opportunity to make more money at it. So let's move on to my last pick. I'm only doing 2 this week to let AG kind of catch up in terms of total picks to me. And we'll only be 1 pick of separation after this. Here's another one where I like the home dog. This is one of those. So we talked about this in week 1. I went through my whole scenario, my whole little conspiracy theory about the NFL and how some of these games play out. And you can go back and look at that video and look at the videos that are on the playlist that are associated with that show you how those games went. And this is another just textbook matchup like that mirrors those. We could very easily now Kyler Murray could come back healthy, but we could see the injury that Colt McCoy suffered start to flare up on him. Maybe his knee starts swelling a little bit. He came down on his knee. He could have some swelling around or behind his kneecap or something. And we could see something later on in the week where you end up with Chase McSorley being the starting quarterback for the Cardinals in that game. And that's the perfect setup too, because that's how all those other games went, where it's like, who the hell is this quarterback? There's no way we should expect this juggernaut like the 49ers to actually lay these points, let alone lose the game straight up. And
i.e.
I'm
PJ
taking,
Walker against the Bucks.
yes, exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
taking plus 7.5 with the Cardinals at minus 110. I'm taking those points and I'm going to the window with it for this. And I'm actually in real life with my own money. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on this money line because at plus 410, I find that hard to pass up as well. So it's plus 410 is the game tonight. Let me look at
Yes.
this one to see where we're at.
Yeah, dude,
It's
man,
probably not as bad.
you know me, man. I hate this Cardinals team. I hate betting on them, even when I believe in it. Like even this week against the Rams, I believed in what you were saying. Like
Mhm.
I completely agreed. I didn't go and bet the Rams. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right,
I'm
right.
not fading you or anything. I can't trust this Cardinals team. I'm not a fan of their play style. It's too wish-washy
Mhm.
for me. It's too shaky and volatile, like the way they play week in and week out. But I will say this is actually the opposite of the last game we just talked about, because if Chad is correct about that scenario of maybe Kyler Murray getting ruled out again with a setback,
Mhm.
and then maybe even Colt McCoy being ruled out with, he obviously got hurt during the game. He came back, but if he's still beaten up and Kyler Murray is ruled out, now you're looking at a starting quarterback of Chase McSorley. Even if you're looking at a starting quarterback for Colt McCoy, this line moves a little bit. So now you're getting plus 10 on the Cardinals. plus
Mm-hmm.
11 against this 49ers team, maybe. And that's when you take it. So this is one of those where it's a good example of maybe you wait this one out and see what news comes out during the week. Because if you're taking the Cardinals plus 7.5, it's a touchdown spread. If Kyler Murray is ruled as like officially the starter, he's going to play. The most this line will move because Kyler Murray's ruled officially the starter is like plus 6, 5.5,
Mm-hmm.
maybe,
Right. Right. Right.
based on that ruling. So you wait on this one and wait
Mm-hmm.
until maybe if he's ruled out, then you're getting plus 10, plus 9, 9.5. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think Kyler Murray playing is already factored into this touchdown spread
Yeah.
that we have already. So
Yep.
that's one of
I
those
agree.
where you might want to wait on it.
Yeah, I think what you see here is, like AG said, probably a touchdown, maybe a hair inside of a touchdown if Kyler Murray is confirmed active and going to start. But there's a little bit of Kyler Murray expected to play cooked into this number already,
Right.
and anything that goes in the direction opposite of him playing, that number grows. So yeah, you're gonna want to wait because there's limited downside to waiting to find out if Kyler Murray plays. You're not going to
Right.
get much worse of a number than this, but you could get either a much better number or you could get a signal to avoid it. I'm going to tell you though that like my experience is I'm not avoiding it because what I'm looking at is I'm saying okay, even if it's McCoy or McSorley, I'm going to the window with a money line play on this one, and I'm definitely playing the spread because what I have seen, this is the kind of stuff that happens in this game. I'm just going to lay it out for you. This is what we saw in that Seattle Denver game, what I saw in all those games that I laid out in that video that I made before that game earlier this year, before week one even started, is some crazy nonsense happens. San Francisco turns the ball over. They fumble the ball into the end zone, and you get some defensive tackle falling on it or something like that. And next thing you know, San Francisco's down 17-3 in the second quarter, and
Yep.
they're clawing their way back to try to just win the game by a field goal late. And you're going to cover, and you might even win this thing outright. So it's one of those things to look at. I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong before, plenty, as you saw. AG just threw my record up there. But a lot of this stuff, what I'm trying to identify is where can we identify something where the odds are better than what they're giving us,
Right.
and we can take advantage of the fact that they're giving us odds that are unfairly tilted to our advantage, to where we can make more money if we play enough of these this way with this scenario in mind. There's some plays where I'm like, no, that doesn't match the scenario. I'm not playing that. I'm not going there because this is not the right setup. This is one of those setups. I don't know when the last time Arizona hosted Monday Night Football was, but it's been a while. Okay. And you give me Arizona hosting Monday Night Football with that kind of atmosphere and all that craziness and that defense that turned over. Granted, it was Andy Dalton, but they turned over the Saints a couple of times with pick sixes and got that win a couple of Thursday nights ago. Yeah, I'm going to take my chances with that. And so here we are. We're going to see how this plays out. I may go 0-2 again this week, and then AG distances himself even further, or I could be making up some big time units with these couple of
Go
plays.
Jets, baby. Can't believe I'm saying it.
There you go. It's over, man. I'm telling y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed
You
it while
guys
it
had a
lasted.
good run, Jets
Yeah.
fans. I'm sorry,
Hope
but
y'all enjoyed it while it lasted because it's over now.
I'm sorry and you're welcome. I'm finally giving you some respect and
That's
pulling
right.
for you, but that might be the downfall of your entire organization back to where you were
That's
before
right.
this season. We shall see. That is yet to be determined. What is determined for sure is that you should be subscribed here because we are racking up plus units here every week in and week out, except for last week. Week 9 was bad to us, but through week 7
More
to
than
week
made
10,
up for it in week 10, man.
even including week 9, we're plus 35.9 units since we started officially tracking them on our picks. We'll be back Thursday night for our Thursday night show between the Titans and the Packers. Both offenses are pretty much banned except for one player named Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
So we're going to have to get pretty creative on this one, although the Packers did take on the Cowboys last afternoon, and Chad was all over that. Cowboys lost, Packers won. So maybe we'll allow ourselves to bet the Packers once again. We shall see. You guys will find out on Thursday. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you're tuned in. Best of luck betting this week. Peace.
Peace out.